What's going on, guys? MLF Pro Circuit Angler Jacob Wall here. I want to share with you my favorite lipless crankbait and chatterbait rod, and that is the Phenix M1. This is a 7'8" medium heavy, and I'm talking about when I'm fishing open water grass flats or open areas, a lot like what I do out here on Guntersville. The reason that I choose the 7'8" length is because it gives me a nice long cast, as well as it picks up line when a fish eats the bait, so I can lean into that fish better. And this medium heavy M1 has a perfect tip. I hardly ever lose fish on a chatterbait. I hear guys talk about all the time how when they set the hook on a fish on a chatterbait, they'll get it hooked, they'll get it halfway to the boat, and then it'll jump and they'll throw the chatterbait. Or they'll get the fish all the way to the boat and they'll see that it's just barely skin hooked and the fish will shake and pop right off. This rod, I very rarely have any issues landing fish. I'd say 9 out of 10 times that I hook a fish, it's coming in the boat. Maybe more than that. It's probably more than that. Basically what I'm saying is I hardly ever lose fish on this rod on a chatterbait. It's also extremely good for the lipless crankbait. It's got just enough tip to where you're gonna, not gonna pull the treble hooks on the fish, just like with the chatterbait where you're gonna hook them. You're not gonna pull those treble hooks out on a lipless crankbait. Another feature that I like about this rod is that it allows me to snatch that bait out of the grass really well without having to work too hard. If you've ever thrown a rod that you are fighting to get through the grass with your lipless or your chatterbait, that's just not the right rod. You want something that's going to be easy to use, something that's going to make it easy on you as an angler. I mean, whether the rod works when you hook a fish or not, big deal. If you're fighting it all day, trying to get it out of the grass, I mean, it's just no fun. You're not going to want to pick that rod up. This rod does both really well. It gets the bait out of the grass extremely well, and it keeps the fish pinned really well. The reason I go for the 7'8" length also is because it gives me a nice long casting ability in those open grass flats, and it's just a phenomenal rod for the lipless and the chatterbait. So guys, next time you're in the market for a chatterbait and a lipless crankbait rod, check out that Phenix M1 7'8" medium heavy. This is one bad dude.